Okay. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Antman here, and welcome, I guess you could say, to a redemption run of my reaction video to Why I Don't Like The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess by Ryuk. I call this a redemption run because, well, I'll be honest, my original one was lacking because I was half asleep, so I didn't really... my focus was all out of whack. But, I'm a bit more awake now, despite the fact that it's almost midnight, as you can see down there on the bottom right. But I'm actually all hyped up, and despite that, I just finished playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, in case you guys didn't know. Just finished recording it, for real. And, I think this is due a redemption run, so... okay. I do hope I can get into this. So, without further ado, let's react to this one more time. And I apologize for the loading time. It sometimes takes a little while for VLC to load these days, when you first try to boot something up. Jesus. Some asshole's being annoying outside. Hope you guys can't hear it. You might possibly can, because when I recorded Millionaire, I was actually a bit loud. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I freaked out a minute because I didn't see my webcam preview, and I thought maybe the shit had stopped recording. I'm sorry. Okay, put you away. Okay, we're good. If you like this game, don't get offended. This is just my opinion, and I won't think less of you for liking it. I'm glad that you were able to enjoy this. Unfortunately, I can't... Come on, Ant-Man. I can't say the same. The design of this game did not appeal to me at all. I hope you don't get too angry with me in the comments, XD. Yeah. Alright. I hope I got some better points this time across. I don't remember everything from my first run. Okay.
The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is one of my most beloved games ever made.
Exactly.
I would say it's probably my second favorite game ever made. Behind Resident Evil 2.
Okay. Ooh, speaking of the Nintendo 64, that reminds me. When I spoke to Josh about the fact that Resident Evil 2 was my first Resident Evil as well, he said the N64 version was his first version, and guess what? So was mine. I kid you not. Wow. And hey, remember, Resident Evil and Minecraft, the Raccoon City project, that was what started this whole friendship, so wow. Resident Evil started an almost decade-long friendship. It'll be a decade come around the summertime. Man, the things that can happen.
I would say that this game is probably the first game that ever blew my mind. You know that feeling when you play that game that just blows your mind, you can't believe how fucking good it looks?
Oh yeah. In fact, case in point, buddy. Oh, you blew my mind when you gave me Skyrim. Holy shit. Once you pick Skyrim up, it's almost impossible to put it down.
Like when kids today play something like Red Dead Redemption 2 and they look at the amazing graphics and animations and they can't believe what they are looking at.
Okay, you know something? That game is blowing my mind too, and I actually have played a bit of it, but I'm not quite a pro yet, and I've only played bits of it here and there. Not gone past Chapter 2 yet, because frankly, I want to save myself for a YouTube run of that game, but I'm worried it might take forever, because I've heard it's a big-ass game like Skyrim. But who knows?
Yeah, I had that same feeling with this game. When I first started gaming, I was used to playing 2D games on the NES, like Super Mario Brothers, Mega Man, and that stuff.
What about A Link to the Past? Just thought I'd ask.
And this was one of the first 3D games I played.
Well, funnily enough, I think Super Mario 64 actually used and Zelda Ocarina of Time have some shared assets now that I think about it.
This game is absolute perfection. It has got an amazing story, incredible gameplay, the level design is absolutely insane, containing some of the best dungeons the series has to offer, and even the overworld is amazing.
Damn straight.
Honestly, this is probably the most iconic version of Hyrule that was ever put into a game.
Shameless plug. At least you're man enough to admit it. But, oh man, yeah, tell me about it. And let me tell you what. After recording and finishing up Blood Moon, playing Ocarina of Time again is going to feel a lot different somehow. Because the events of Blood Moon just stick in my mind, it's going to make me feel like it was canon to the whole series, even though it's not. It's just a fan project me and Josh worked on.
Hyrule that was ever put into a game.
Excuse me, I'm parched.
I loved this game so much that I could not wait for a sequel. And while I got Majora's Mask, which was an amazing game, it felt so different to Ocarina of Time that I really felt the need for a true sequel to the game.
And I don't know if some of you knew this, but we did create Termina since then, with some custom additions, and I'm still actually working on it now, in fact, adding a few custom areas for a prequel adventure map called The Legend of Zelda Heroes Road. You're hearing this from me. And it'll take place before Blood Moon, during the time, during the captain's younger years, when he tried to defend Hyrule Castle against Ganon's hordes, but failed. And it chronicles his escape from Hyrule just at the beginning of the game. And after that, he resides in Termina for 7 years. If you remember that Water Temple episode. Yeah, so during that 7 years time span, the captain stays in Termina, and this is a bit of a spoiler, but when he leaves, the Hero of Time will have just defeated Ganondorf, so Hyrule will be recovering. So there's that. Anyway, enough spitballing and shameless plugging my something that hasn't been active yet. Hell, I'm going to be working on Resident Evil 4 Remake and its Separate Ways expansion, and Village before I get to that. You know, that way so we can have time to plan things out.
So, needless to say, once I got my hands on a GameCube, I got the next game in the series immediately. And what I got was very surprising.
Best musical scores I've ever heard for a trailer. And what I was trying to do was show off the hoodie, because I don't know if you do, but, sorry about that. But my hoodie is Wind Waker designed. I'm trying to show it off, but I can't see myself. Yeah, I'm worried if I turn my head much more, I'm going to break my spine or something. Yeah, and I'm not going to take it off right now and show you the tag that says Wind Waker, because, I gotta be honest, I'm not wearing anything underneath. Sorry if that gave you nightmares, but I don't want to be sued for indecent exposure. But yeah, this was a thrift store find, honestly, and I'm really glad that I found it. I've used it for my Blood Moon thumbnails, and I actually really enjoy it. Although, I'm sweating a little bit because it's warm out, it's the middle of May and all that. But yeah, oh my god, Wind Waker though? You know, a lot of people criticize it because of it's too cartoony-ish, but me being me, I didn't care about that. I genuinely loved that game, and I still do.
This game looked absolutely nothing like Ocarina of Time, or Majora's Mask for that matter. I remember while I played this game, I was like, oh my god, what happened to this game series? This looks nothing like the previous games.
Sounds like you were a hell of a critic on the game. But god damn, the HD version looked that crisp? Although, be honest, if they had maintained the original score for the Wind Waker HD instead of remastering it, I probably would have gone for it. Well, actually, what am I saying? They should have released that on the Switch, not the damn Wii U. Same goes for Twilight Princess HD. They should have re-released those on the Switch, not the goddamn Wii U. Such a shame, too.
And at first I actually extremely hated the art style of this game. But eventually, after playing the game enough, I actually fell in love with the art style. It aged beautifully, and I actually think that this game is very good.
Let me stop you there. Yeah, the art style, in fact, believe it or not, was technically used for Breath of the Wild, but fleshed out just a bit to be a bit more realistic compared to this one. Huh. It did age well, really.
Like, it's definitely not as good as the previous two games, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. It's very flawed as a game, but it was still pretty enjoyable.
In what ways would you say it's very flawed, buddy? Yeah, present-day Josh Ryuk, let me know. In the comments below, what would you say are your biggest flaws? Just in case you don't say them here.
Unfortunately, as much as I enjoyed this game, it still did not scratch the itch for me. I still wanted a true sequel to Ocarina of Time, with the same gritty art style and dark storyline.
Well,
little did I know that I was not the only one that hated the art style at first, so Nintendo would actually answer my wish.
Hello? Ah. Man, shit looks so different back then. It's awful blurry, too.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
Little loud. That reminds me. Okay, I said this the first time around, but Link in that version sounded just like his Ocarina of Time counterpart, which he did not during the final release. Second of all, the music in that trailer, didn't they use that for one of those Ocarina of Time trailers? Because I could have sworn I heard it before. But holy shit, man, the trailer looked a lot different. Well, not a lot, but quite different.
Yes! Yes! I was so hyped for this game. Oh man, you can't believe how much I was hyped for this game. My wish was granted!
That monkey's paw's gonna make our dreams come true.
Oh no!
Unfortunately.
And I never got an answer. What the hell was that Simpsons thing a reference to? Because I'm sorry, I just don't watch the show, so I have no idea what that was supposed to mean.
This would become one of the most disappointing games I have ever played in my life.
Unfortunately, we all have our criticisms. Hell, I like quite a few games that he doesn't like. Like, I absolutely love Twilight Princess. Well, I mean, he said it's mid-tier, not total shit. Meanwhile, however, he says The Last of Us Part 2 is total shit. I can see why you would. And while I don't think it's a top-tier game, it's still really engaging for me. Like, I'm not even joking.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Zelda Twilight Princess
See?
review.
Like I said, mid.
Also known as Why I Don't Like This Game.
Okay, I'm sorry. Time check. Oh my god! I've been wasting time here. Yeah, I pretty much bloated my own opening already. Ooh, this is crisp.
Let me preface this by saying that I don't dislike the entirety of this game. There are actually some parts that I really enjoy about this game, and this opening cutscene is actually not half bad.
Honestly, I'm with you there. It actually kind of blew my mind, although I think this is from the HD. I think the lighting was a bit better on the original GameCube, to be honest. I'm not even kidding.
I actually really like it, especially the shot composition, and I think that it does a fine job at establishing the themes of the game. But I do remember that when this game came out, I was not the only one that disliked the opening of this game, because it is a bloated mess. So, let me actually analyze what happens in the entirety of this opening. And let's compare it to another game. It's a small indie game you might have heard about. It's called Ocarina of Time.
What? Okay, I guess that was a joke, because Ocarina is not an indie game. But I was about to say, when he said opening, I realized, oh, he meant the entire beginning sequence. Yeah. They did really kind of inflate that opening sequence quite a bit. Meanwhile, you can get, like, Ocarina of Time's opening bits done in, like, minutes.
So, after the opening cutscene is over, you are tasked with finding your horse. So you need to backtrack to the previous screen. You take 3 steps, and boom, another cutscene. And this time it's a cutscene with probably the most boring female love interest I have ever seen in a game.
Ouch.
Seriously, this girl has the personality of a plank of wood.
Damn.
After the cutscene is over, you can take your horse back to the village, and now you can do what you were supposed to do. Which is a goat herding minigame.
I'll admit, that was an unusual change of pace.
I remember while I was playing this for the first time, I was thinking to myself, okay, this is kinda cool, but what does this really add to the game?
Not really much of anything, although later on, after he gets the hero's clothes, oh, and Epona back again, of course, you can do it again and get a heart piece. I'm sorry. A little stressed.
After that is done, you wake up the next day and you get to actually explore the village a little bit. You can talk to the NPCs in the village and like look for rupees and stuff. And your main goal will be to acquire a slingshot, which you will need to progress through the game.
Which is kind of a flip script of Ocarina? I don't know. Because instead of a slingshot, it was the shield back then, and you got the slingshot shortly after. But in this case, you don't get a shield until quite a bit later.
So this is very similar to the opening of Ocarina of Time. You just need to find some money, and then you can buy what you need to progress, right?
Right.
Oh, I wish it was that easy.
Yeah. You gotta go through a lot of shit just to get that damn slingshot. And I'm not just talking about money gathering.
They took the simple, beautiful opening of Ocarina of Time and made it 10 times worse. The reason why the Ocarina of Time opening is so beloved and considered a masterful execution of level design is because it can take as long as you want.
Right?
If you want, you can explore the village and talk to all the NPCs, look for secrets. But if you want, you can make this section like last 2 minutes. Yeah, if you want, you can just speedrun getting 40 rupees, buy the shield, get the sword, talk to the Deku Tree, and boom, you are in the first dungeon.
Right? That's just what I was saying earlier. You can take this one at your own pace. Twilight Princess, on the other hand, is pretty long. I'll admit, much as I like the game, it does kind of drive me nuts at times with that insane opening.
Like, you can go through this part in 2 minutes, so it really feels like the game starts immediately in Ocarina of Time.
Woo!
It really does not feel like you are wasting your time,
Talk about
but
speed
if you are
running.
actually a patient gamer and want to take your time and explore, you can actually find some secret stuff. Did you know that you can actually get another 40 rupees, go inside the Lost Woods, and actually buy the first upgrade for the Deku sticks?
Yeah, I think it's from that scrub under the bridge, if I'm not mistaken.
Immediately, and that will actually prove helpful during the first dungeon.
Not by much.
Yeah, you can actually find a couple of secrets even during this tutorial area. So the beauty of this opening is that it can take as long as you want. You can speed run it, or you can take your time and even get some supplies before you head inside the first dungeon. Meanwhile, back in Twilight Princess land, you need to get the slingshot. However, the shopkeeper won't sell you the slingshot because her cat has gone missing. You find out that her cat wants to get some fish, so now you need to actually find a fishing rod before you can actually make the cat return home. To find the fishing rod, you must complete a little side quest by a woman that asks you to find her cradle. To find the cradle, you must play a little minigame using some herb that allows you to control a bird.
I wouldn't say it's an herb, it's just a unique piece of grass, but whatever. Woo, sorry.
And this minigame is pretty much just a recycled Aioi pearl from Wind Waker. Anyway, you make your way back to the lady, and now that you have a fishing rod, you can actually catch a fish to make the cat go back home. Now you can actually catch a fish.
By the way, I'm listening. Josh, what on earth is this music that's playing right now?
Oh wait, you don't actually have to catch a fish. You have to catch 2 fish, because the first one gets added to your collection tab and you cannot drop it for some godforsaken reason.
Oh, you're treating it that like it's the end of the world. Like, come on, 10 or 15 extra seconds ain't gonna kill you.
So you need to catch a second fish to let the cat get it. So, yeah. Also, if you're playing the Wii version, the controls for fishing are absolutely terrible, and it took me 30 minutes to get the second fish.
Really? But all you just gotta do is... How is that awful? I mean, it would be different if you're doing the bobber shit. But either way, yeah, I still play the GameCube version. Superior in my opinion.
And now, you can finally get a slingshot. Why did you need the slingshot? Yeah, you needed the slingshot to impress a couple of kids, and now you have to play some mini-games with them and basically be a babysitter for them. And eventually, after playing 300 tutorials showing how the slingshot and sword work,
Not that
you can
many.
finally progress with the game. Oh my god. After all that is done, one of the kids sees a monkey and chases the monkey into the woods, and now you have to go save him. This part of the game is probably the first real gameplay section, and yeah, it's still railroaded and linear as fuck, but at least now you are not doing fetch quests.
Right.
So, why am I bitching so much about the opening of this game? Well, it's basically because it's just a bunch of unrelated side quests that you have to complete to progress through the game. Like, this stuff should have been all optional. All these random chores we did, what do they contribute to the plot of the game?
Yeah.
They don't do anything. This game actually kinda reminds me of the pacing of some of the Sony first title party games. Like, they are very linear, full of cutscenes, but at least in those games, when you have like those slow opening moments, usually you actually get some cutscenes to get some character development. Meanwhile, in this game, I have some spoilers for you. All the characters that appear in this opening will serve literally no purpose in the game. Sure, Link starts his journey to rescue them, but honestly, what would change if they did not get kidnapped?
Well, considering that's what drove him off on the quest to begin with, for all we know, Ganondorf might have And Zant might have gone unopposed, for all we know. Maybe. I'm just spitballing.
The game completely failed to make me care about these characters because they are just used to shove fetch quests down Link's throat and as tutorials. And if you remove the fetch quests and tutorials, there is nothing left because they have zero personality. If you remove the whole kidnapping business and just started the game with Link getting absorbed into the Twilight Realm, nothing would change. The plot would still be the same, and that is never a good sign. So the reason why this does not work is because you spend so much time with boring fetch quests, cutscenes, and you don't even get compelling characters out of this. In Ocarina of Time, Saria had like half the screen time of these kids, and I cared about her much more. What went wrong here? And even if you did not care for Saria in Ocarina of Time, at least she had very few cutscenes and she did not grind the pacing of the game to a complete halt.
Right? Sorry, I'm just taking a moment to stretch so I don't get...
I also have another question.
What?
Why do all the NPCs in Twilight Princess look so fucking weird?
Oh yeah, don't even get me started, dude.
They really trigger my Uncanny Valley effect.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I thought Wind Wakers were fairly weird, but this game kinda took the cake.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that? What is that, Private Pile?
Get him away from me!
Hold him down.
Oh, God!
Sorry.
Okay, all jokes aside.
Ugh. I'm sorry, that last one made me cringe. Josh, you need some better material.
This section is actually kinda enjoyable. At least you have combat, you have a bit of exploration. Don't get me wrong, it's easy as fuck, it's linear as fuck, but you will soon see that that problem, unfortunately, plagues the entire game. It's kind of a shame that this section only lasts like 10 minutes and then it's back to...
God damn, did you see that performance? He sped run through that shit.
Yes, more chores! Got Erding again. What does this add to the game?
Nothing.
I have no fucking clue. After another 100 cutscenes with the fucking kids, your girlfriend gets jealous for some reason, and now we have to convince her to give you the ores again. What does this add to the game? Okay, you get it by now.
God. Yeah, they did waste quite a few good characters.
After talking with her, the village is assaulted by monsters, and the monsters actually kidnap the kids. Then, Link, while chasing the monsters, actually finds a black wall and gets absorbed into the Twilight Realm, starting the game proper. While in the Twilight Realm, Link, for some reason, transforms into a wolf.
I think the wolf transformation was explained as the Triforce protecting him, kinda. Because he had the emblem of courage on his right hand, and I think because of it, he didn't turn into a Twilight denizen, instead he became the wolf. If I'm not mistaken.
And gets kidnapped by the monsters. This concludes the first part of the opening. Yes, believe it or not, we are still not done. So, in short, this opening is kind of a mess, honestly. The pacing is all over the place. There's 300 cutscenes every 2 fucking seconds. It's linear as fuck. It's easy as fuck.
But at least you can skip cutscenes.
The characters have basically no personality, and the game fails at making me care for them. And honestly, I just don't care about all of this.
Well, actually, I will say that this dude comes in handy later with the iron boots, but otherwise, that's about it.
The problem with having such a linear section is that if you don't care about the story, then there's really nothing for you to enjoy here, because the game is so railroaded and linear that there's nothing for you to do. You just need to walk to the next cutscene, then do a little more of gameplay, walk to the next other cutscene, rinse and repeat until this is over. And yeah, unfortunately the game failed completely to make me care for these characters. This might have worked for you, but it did not for me. And aside from the kids, none of the characters in this section actually serve any plot purposes.
Excuse me, did you not hear what I said about him? How he teaches you to sumo with the Gorons by using the iron boots?
And it's not like the kids were amazing either, so yeah, this is a big waste of time. Since the story is not good, having this linear section at the beginning of the game is completely useless, so we might as well have gotten a shorter opening, just like Ocarina of Time, just focused on the gameplay side of things.
But on the flip side, at least the opening areas look very nice. Very secluded, you know?
The Zelda Wind Waker opening was just as long as this one, maybe a bit shorter.
Yeah, it was a bit shorter.
But at least in that one, you got to the first dungeon, the Forsaken Fortress, much earlier, and I am actually one of the few idiots on the planet that actually likes sneaking around in the Forsaken Fortress.
Hey, you're not alone in that. And technically, I don't consider the Forsaken Fortress the first dungeon, because you don't actually clear it until later. So, with the dungeon order in that game, I would say it was technically the fourth.
So, yeah, I actually enjoyed that opening much more. And even if you want to be generous and say that the Forsaken Fortress does not count as the first dungeon, at least you can say that the characters in Wind Waker are much more likable. So unfortunately this opening part did not really work for me. The only parts I liked is that I think the Ordon village looks really pretty, and I like the soundtrack.
I was just talking about that, Like I said, I don't remember all these details from the first run, but I guess some of them stuck in the back of my mind.
I think that's pretty much it.
Wolf Link is not fun.
So, the second part of the tutorial, yes, it's still a tutorial, holy fuck. We'll see Link transformed into Wolf Link, trapped inside Hyrule Castle, while in the Twilight Realm. He is rescued by a character named Midna, and she will be the helper character for this game, just like Navi in Ocarina of Time and the King of Red Lions in Wind Waker. And Midna is fucking awesome.
Right? Not gonna lie, during that intro scene, I was right up in the screen, so I was kind of getting a little uncomfortable for some reason. Like just now.
She's probably the best character in this game, and also the only character with an actual personality.
I won't disagree with that assessment.
I really love her, but unfortunately she cannot carry this entire game by herself. So, Wolf Link. Wolf Link will be the gimmick of this game, and if you play at Zelda Majora's Mask, you should already know what this gimmick is about. It's basically another form that Link can use.
Although he technically only has one here.
Like during certain points of the game, and later in the game you will be able to transform at will. Although I have no idea why you would want to do that.
There are some bits you still need to do as the wolf, because... Have you thought about that?
Because there's actually one difference between the Majora's Mask transformations and this transformation.
Hit me.
Simply put, the Majora's Mask transformations were amazing, meanwhile this transformation is completely worthless.
Not completely.
And if you don't believe me, let me talk about the transformations. So, Deku Link. Deku Link was definitely the worst transformation in Majora's Mask.
Duh. Beginner.
He was actually very weak and kinda useless. The only thing you could do was up on water and fly. But it actually makes sense that Deku Link was terrible, because you started the game as Deku Link and you want to return to human form so you can actually like play the game. Like being stuck as Deku for the start of the game is actually a punishment, and you want to return to normal form as soon as possible, which is the entire point of the tutorial of Majora's Mask.
Right? Hell, I remember when the Elegy of Emptiness in the Stone Tower segment, it's kind of useless for Deku Link too, because his statue is too light to activate switches, just like the real deal. So, why the fuck? I remember that shit made me laugh.
And even if Deku Link was kinda weak, he still played a big purpose in the game, because there was an entire area, Southern Swamp, designed around his abilities.
Right.
The dungeons also took great advantage of his abilities, so honestly he never felt useless, he was just a bit weaker than the other transformations. Now, Goron Link. Oh my god, when you get Goron Link Mask, the game becomes amazing. Like, it changes the game totally for the better, because he's a complete monster.
Yeah, I just wish his attacks were quicker in combat, is all.
He makes land traveling so fast and fun that in Majora's Mask I actually consider Epona to be completely useless. He completely breaks the game, he's so fucking fun to use.
Yeah, but you still need Epona to jump certain gates.
And he's a fucking beast, oh my god. He's also the strongest form in terms of like combat. Like his attacks have got very short range, but if you can land them, they deal an insane amount of damage, so that is also very fun.
I actually wouldn't have noticed.
Honestly, I fucking love this transformation, so fucking good. Even if you don't need to use him, the fact that he's so fun to move around with makes you want to transform into him anyway. So, what I said for Goron Link...
By the way, this area back here... Okay, this is a cool thing. I don't know if you knew it, but you can do a Goron ground pound as Goron Link, obviously. And normally you would have to talk to this guy to get access to the shrine, correct? But you can actually do it yourself as Goron Link by executing a ground pound. No need to speak with him.
Anyway, so what I said for Goron Link, apply it for Zora Link when underwater, and we basically have the same transformation. This guy is amazing. Like, when you are in the water with Zora Link, it does not even feel like you're underwater, because you are so mobile, it's so fucking fun to use. You can dolphin jump, you can use like an electric barrier to destroy enemies.
Although, that can burn through your magic reserves.
Yeah, this guy is amazing. Like, this is definitely the best transformation in Majora's Mask. It's fucking godlike, man. It makes the actual fucking water temple so fun in this game.
Great Bay Temple, first of all. And second of all, I do remember that the 3D version kind of downgraded him a bit. Kind of a shame.
Just like Goron Link, even if you are not forced to use him, you still want to use him when you are like underwater, because he's way too fucking good at moving. Then we have Fierce Deity, and do I even need to say this?
Nope.
Just look at the footage. This mask is your reward for completing the game at 100%, and it basically makes you become an unstoppable god. You are basically shredding through every fucking boss in the game, nothing stands a chance. It's so fucking amazing. It's like the best reward for 100% in a game that ever existed, and it became the most iconic transformation in all of Zelda, for a very good reason.
Right? Although you don't have to do the whole game 100%, you just have to collect all 24 masks. You don't need every single heart piece. Which, by the way, is something I've never actually done. I've never, ever gotten all 20 hearts in Majora's Mask.
Now, we have Wolf Link. What can Wolf Link do? Well, he can bite monsters, he can dig down very specific spots to reach new areas, he can use his nose to track down some specific items during very specific scripted sequences, he can see invisible enemies and doors.
Which is helpful.
Basically, it works the same as the Lens of Truth for some reason, I don't know why that is. And when Midna is with you, you can do a special attack to basically instant kill like 3 enemies at a time.
Well, not right away.
Or you can jump to very specific spots that the game is scripted to allow you to jump. As you can see, most of these abilities are like very situational or only work during very specific scripted sequences. So even when you gain the ability to transform as him, there's basically no reason to do so because he really gives you nothing. And even mobility wise, he's only like slightly faster than normal Link, so you don't even need to transform into him to go faster most of the time. But you know the part that sucks the most about Wolf Link?
What?
Yeah, my poor doggy got robbed the most in combat encounters. So, let me explain to you guys something about this game.
Ah, yeah.
For some fucking reason that I have no idea why they implemented, in this game, when you actually hit an enemy, they will go into a knocked down state, and you need to finish them using a special attack. If you don't use this finishing attack, you will have to wait for the enemy to get back up, and while they are knocked down, they will be invincible. So every fight becomes, you hit the enemy, they stay knocked down, you wait for them to get back up, you hit them again, rinse and repeat until they die. Unless you use the finishing technique that the skeleton guy teaches you.
Formerly known as the Hero of Time.
Now, you might say, what is the problem? Just use the finishing technique and you are done. It even looks really cool.
It does.
You see, dear viewer, the problem is that the skills are only taught to human Link. For some reason, Wolf Link gets absolutely zero combat upgrades throughout the game. Because of this.
Yeah, I'll admit, that is kind of a shame.
Because you don't get the finishing blow as Wolf Link, this means that every fight with him takes like double as long, because you cannot get past invincibility frames. And you know what is really weird? What is the thing that canines are really famous for doing?
Going straight for the jugular.
Oh yeah!
Oof. By the way, where'd Josh get that footage from? Somebody else? Did he record it? Was the original soundtrack used, or was it added in? Yeah, I forgot to mention, you can use the original soundtrack in RE4 Remake.
Do you see how stupid this is? Why? Just why can't Wolf Link just like bite the neck of enemies and finish them off that way?
He technically does for those pose, but yeah, I get your point. I wish he could do that shit to every goddamn enemy he downs. It would have looked so badass.
This makes absolutely zero sense. So yeah, Wolf Link sucks. And this dungeon too is like so fucking boring. All you do in this dungeon is go like through linear always, like hit some levers once in a while, and later you will do like some scripted jumps and the dungeon is over.
Hello, beginning of the game, it's not supposed to be difficult.
Like, wow, man. This level design, wow. The story is also not very compelling.
I guess the one thing that weirds me out about this is that when you go here for the final dungeon, you don't see a bit of this area. I thought that was kinda weird.
Because they decided that it was a good idea to make the characters not even realize that the Twilight is like a thing. Like every character that you interact with in the Twilight world, they don't actually realize that they are in the Twilight world. They see everything as normal, they just see the fucking black monsters.
That is kinda weird. I wonder why they did that.
Anyway, at the end of this dungeon, if you can even call it that, you meet with Princess Zelda. She tells you that she surrendered to the Twilight invaders, and then she makes you return to the Ordon village. You are then told by Midna
Actually, it was technically Midna herself who brought Link back to the village, but you get the idea.
to steal a sword and a shield, so you will be able to use them when you go back to being a human.
Which, like I said, you don't really get to do for, like, maybe an hour or two, depending on your performance.
This is like a stealth section while playing as a Wolf Link, and it is very interesting. It is a pretty neat section, although because of all the issues with Wolf Link I already outlined, and how limited his moveset is, it still ends up feeling pretty undercooked. Oh well, at least this cutscene is fucking hilarious.
Hey, fun fact I gotta tell you. In Hyrule Warriors, Midna in her imp form, and also her full form, is playable, and one of her bonus costumes, if you can call it that, an imp form, is for her to actually wear that shield on her face. I'm not even kidding. It's hilarious as fuck. Yes? That was kind of a dick move. If it wasn't for the fact that Link became human just moments later, you would have felt like that was for nothing.
I love Midna. She's so fucking awesome. Definitely carries art in this game. So our next objective will be to return the Faron Woods to the normal world and dispel the Twilight. To do this, we will have to do the first of many sections involving Tears of Light. And let me tell you, people in the fanbase hate these sections. In fact, people hate them so much that when they remade the game in HD, they actually shortened them a little bit.
Wait, hang on, I didn't know that. How'd they shorten them? What, less tears? Yeah, that's what I would guess. If you'd know, tell me. The Tears of Light. Hey, at least you only have to do this 3 times. You don't have to do this before every single fucking dungeon.
So, now we are actually inside the Twilight, and we are stuck in wolf form. So, what exactly do you do during these sections? Okay, so what you need to do is you need to run around these areas covered in Twilight and try to find some weird bug enemies that are usually hidden, and when you kill them they will drop a collectible called the Tears of Light. You just need to find all the Tears of Light, and then this area will be cleansed from the Twilight and you can actually proceed with the game.
Right, so what's the big deal?
So, a lot of people in the Zelda community actually don't like these sections very much, and I can actually see why. Like I said before, Wolf Link moveset is very limited.
People did not like these, don't they? Oh, so okay, but to how much? 12, 13, 10, what?
So all you can really do is just go around the map, find the bugs that you can see, and sometimes you have to jump with Midna, and other times you have to use the Lens of Truth ability to find hidden passages you can dig through, or just find hidden bugs in general. So playing these sections is actually not very interesting, because yeah, they are very linear, and you just need to go through them and find all the bugs, and if you missed one bug, you need to circle through the entire area again, trying to find the bug you missed.
Yeah, the one bug hunt I still kinda gets to me is the last one, because oh my god, the last province is so fucking huge. The number of bugs is the same, but god damn, they're all over the place in that one. And you have to do a fucking sort of bird flight mini game to catch some of them along the river. And if you miss them, God help you.
That's all you really do here. It's definitely not the most interesting gameplay loop.
Oh, I almost forgot to mention, at the end of that segment, the last bug is actually pretty much the king of them all, and he's a kind of a sort of a boss fight. Well, more like a mini boss, but you get the idea.
and I don't think they are interesting narrative-wise too, because like I said, during these sections the NPCs can't even tell that they are in the Twilight. They just feel that something is wrong, but they can't even tell what it is. So you don't really have any stakes here, honestly. I will never know why they chose this for the plot of this game, because if the NPCs actually knew about the Twilight, this would feel much more interesting and actually have stakes. Sometimes you will get trapped inside an area and you will be surrounded by 3 enemies. And what you need to do is kill them all at the same time, otherwise you can't proceed because they will keep reviving themselves.
By the way, fun shit. For this first encounter, if you are aware of this, and try to keep hitting them all with a spin attack to try and kill them all, the game will actually not kill one of them so that it can automatically revive the others. So even if you do know what you're doing, this shit is still gonna happen. So you actually need that energy field to kill them all. Although you can also actually do it later on in Human Link sometimes with the spin attack.
There is really no skill involved with these encounters, because all you need to do is hold the B button, and then Midna will use a force field attack that kills all of them at the same time. So literally you just push a button and you win. So this might actually be a hot take, but I actually kinda enjoy these sections. Even though the gameplay is really nothing special.
I would have guessed a section where you could cheese a horde fight like that with a single insta-kill attack would have gotten on your nerves, man, as much of a fucking challenger you are.
These sections are carried hard by a really beautiful atmosphere that looks haunting, and the music in these areas is also really good. I really love the Twilight theme that you are hearing right now during the review.
True.
So, honestly, I just like these areas for the vibes. Even though, like I said, gameplay-wise, they are nothing special. And I really have nothing else to say about these sections. Like, they are really, really nothing burgers, to be honest. They are all the same. You did one, you did all of them.
Did he say nothing burgers?
Honest. Really nothing burgers, to be honest.
Nothing? Is that what he said? Nothing burger? What did you say there, man?
They are all the same. You did one, you did all of them.
OMG, the tutorial is over. Oh, by the way, I should do the same thing he did and use timestamps. I did for my fucking 7 Days to Die compilation, and honestly, I like it. I think I'm gonna start using those from now on. When needed.
Holy shit! The tutorial is finally over! And it only took 2 hours.
That is kind of absurd.
Holy fuck! By the way, let me tell you guys, Link design in this game looks fucking amazing. I love the chainmail below the tunic, I love the padded gloves. Like, this design fucks. See, I can see positive things about this game when I want to.
Yeah, that design was really god tier. Is it any wonder they used him in Super Smash Bros. Brawl and, I guess you could call it Smash 4? Although, I can understand also why they moved on to Breath of the Wild Link for Smash Ultimate, because, man, that game fucking slays too. It's... Breath of the Wild is like fucking Skyrim big, dude.
This Link design is amazing. It looks so fucking badass, man. Now, back to the bashing. Unfortunately, it's still very linear from this point, so the only thing we can really do is head towards the first dungeon, and we can't even head straight there. We have to basically go through the area we did as Wolf Link, and for some reason this area is filled with this poisonous fog, and we have to use the lantern to dispel the fog. Unfortunately, the lantern is stolen by a monkey, so now, instead of just using the lantern ourselves, we have to follow this slow-moving monkey through the fog. And I don't know why they added this. Like, this just slows the game down. Why do I have to follow this stupid monkey instead of just using the lantern myself and getting through this area in 2 seconds? Yeah, they somehow thought that having a slow-moving escort quest was a really good idea at this point of the game. This
Yeah.
game really knows how to do good pacing, man.
Sarcasm. This is on triple speed. Oh my lord. Yeah, seriously, why the... They couldn't have just had the monkey appear at the gate in the end and just let you know that what's going on at the Forest Temple? Spoiler.
What was the point of that? There's no point in that section. You don't even do anything difficult. You just have to follow the monkey, and you don't do anything. There's not even monsters attacking you aside from a couple of bats that appear once in a while that you can one-shot. Twilight Princess, why are you like this? We just spent 2 hours doing a tutorial, and now you make me do a fucking escort quest that is completely worthless!
God. Speaking of escort quests, that one during... where you escort the young Zora Prince to Kakariko Village, that shit is honestly, in my opinion, fucking epic. Especially with the music that plays there.
There was nothing challenging about that. Enough about that. So, we get the first sword technique, which is the finishing move I talked about before. And for some reason, this is the only sword technique that is not missable. All the other ones are optional, but this one is not optional.
If I had to guess, it's also because it's also the same technique you use to finish off the final boss. Spoiler alert.
They really wanted to make Wolf Link as worthless as possible. Okay, so we are about to enter the first dungeon. We spent 2 hours trying to get here. This better be the best dungeon ever made.
Where's the HUD? I mean, I thought the design for this dungeon was pretty cool, although I thought it was weird they called it a temple.
Well, I don't really have much to complain about this dungeon.
Like, yeah, the name does kind of get to me now that I think about it. I wouldn't call it a temple, I'd call it more like, heck, if I had to give it something, I'd say Monkey Sanctum or something. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
It's not like it's amazing or anything, but it's also not bad at all. It's like, it's fine. It's a dungeon.
Hang on, is he climbing faster than...
I do have a small nitpick, however. So, why exactly is this called Forest Temple? I find that name to be very offensive. Why? Well, let me explain it to you why.
Here he goes. I know he's gonna simp about Ocarina of Time's Forest Temple.
The Forest Temple in Ocarina of Time is one of the best dungeons ever made in the entire Zelda franchise. It's an haunted mansion deep in the Lost Woods, full of ghosts and undead creatures trying to kill you.
Oh, never
It has
mind.
got like the best soundtrack that Koji Kondo ever composed. It's so fucking creepy, like this song used to give me nightmares when I was a kid.
I mean, it did? God. Honestly, I think if anything from this game made me nightmares as a kid, it's those damn Redeads and Gibdos, man. That fucking shriek. Ugh. Speaking of which, the one in Wind Waker is even worse. God! That shit was loud as fuck.
This dungeon not only had like an amazing horror atmosphere, but it was also very challenging and you could actually get lost here.
By the way, an interesting case of pacing. This is supposed to be the first adult dungeon, and as you can see, he's got the fucking Big Goron sword already, which is something you can totally do. You can actually get the Big Goron sword right off the bat if you prepare yourself correctly. But you need Epona for this, so if you didn't get Epona's song as a child before coming to the adult timeline, you would have been fucked until you could go back in time and get it.
It was not like a completely straight line, like all the dungeons in Twilight Princess. I remember when I played this for the first time, I had actually missed one of the keys, and it took me like 1 hour to find where I lost that key. This place was so fucking creepy, man.
It could be confusing at times with those twisted hallways, too.
I got nightmares from this place. It looked like a level you would find in a Silent Hill game, with all this damn fog and darkness.
That's actually a very good point.
This dungeon offered some of the most memorable rooms in the entire franchise. This fucking twisted room, like, it confused the hell out of me.
Oh yeah.
And the enemies were also extremely creepy. The wall masters and floor masters made me shit my pants.
Okay, yeah, the ones that come down from the ceiling kind of make my nerves a little uneasy. Then again, so do the ones on the ground, because of the way they split, and then you have to kill them before they stunlock you by grabbing you.
And if you were not good at the game, the Stalfos would shred your health like butter and you would die in seconds. And do I need to talk about the boss? This boss was like the coolest shit ever. Oh my god, this is so fucking cool. Meanwhile, what is the Twilight Princess version actually based on?
You guessed it.
Monkey!
Yes, they used the name of one of the best dungeons ever made and made it into a generic cave where you need to save monkeys. Why? Why would you replace cool fucking ghosts with fucking monkeys? Why is this called the Forest Temple? This does not even look like a temple.
Like I just said, I probably would have called it Monkey Sanctum or something like that. I don't know.
The inside of this place looks more like the Great Draco Tree from the Ocarina of Time.
And did I say that already? Yeah, I did. God, I'm on repeat.
And this is why I actually find this dungeon to be very uninteresting. Because, yeah, there's actually nothing wrong with the dungeon. It's like, okay, it's linear as fuck and easy as fuck, just like all the other Twilight Princess dungeons.
Oh, I disagree. That fucking... what is it called? The City in the Sky is confusing as hell, dude.
But aside from that, it's like not bad. But the problem is that the theme of this dungeon is so fucking boring. I don't care for monkeys. I would literally give this dungeon a higher score if it was called anything else. Just call it like the Monkey Cave or something, I don't care. This is not the Forest Temple.
He was pretty close to my name.
Name aside, I also have another complaint about this dungeon. So, just take a look at this.
But just take a look at this!
This is how long it takes you to climb a vine in the HD version of the game. Pretty slow, huh?
Oh yeah, but let me tell you, the originals... Wait.
What if I told you that this was actually sped up compared to the original version? This is how long it takes in the original GameCube or Wii version of the game.
By the way, the entire Wii world is mirrored. I read that wrong. Yes, instead of just changing Link's dominant hand, they mirrored the entire world. What the fuck, man? Yeah. Yes, this climbing speed used to drive me nuts. I would have killed for that HD climbing speed in the original. Holy shit. It's a good thing my mind wanders while I'm playing sometimes.
Why? Just why does it take so fucking long? Why are the animations in this game so fucking slow?
Probably for a sense of realism and to be not as cartoony as the last 3D games. Just my guess.
You know, it's bad because even the developers noticed and actually sped up the animations in the HD remaster. Do you know how many vines do you climb in this fucking dungeon? By the end of this fucking dungeon, I was looking like this.
Oh boy.
So, needless to say, I did not enjoy this dungeon very much.
Honestly, I didn't enjoy that clip very much either. Yes, I understand it was from an emotional Kingdom Hearts 3 moment, but God, Josh, couldn't you have used something else?
It's
Cringe.
technically fine, but It took me so long to get here after that shitty opening that I was really expecting something much better than this. Unfortunately, this game is way too flawed for me to enjoy any of the dungeons in this game. Even if the level design was amazing, I would still not be able to enjoy this nearly as much as the older games, because the design of this game just does not appeal to me at all. So it's time for the next section of this review.
Braindead combat, unrewarding exploration. Oh boy.
The combat in this game is so fucking boring. I already talked about how Wolf Link is boring, but how does Human Link compare? You always hear people say that this game has got amazing combat, and they are technically right, because the moveset of this game is amazing. Like, you have so many moves to choose from in this game, the combat is very varied. The problem is that the enemies don't take advantage of this moveset at all. So, in Ocarina of Time, the enemies were easy to avoid.
By the way, I'm just curious, what's this music that's playing?
But if they hit you, they actually did a lot of damage. In Zelda Wind Waker, it was actually kinda the opposite. The enemies were very aggressive, and they attacked you a lot, but if they hit you, they did very little damage. Well, guess what? This is a game made for babies on the Wii. So in this game, you get the worst of both worlds. The enemy's AI is absolutely brain dead. They barely attack you, and if they hit you, which should never happen, they do almost zero damage. I remember one time I was trying to get myself killed, so I stayed in one of the bridges in Hyrule Field, getting sniped by the archers on the bridge. It took almost 5 seconds just for the archer to ready the arrow, and another 5 seconds for the arrow to hit me, and when the arrow hit me, it did 1/4 of damage. If I wanted to die, I would have to have waited for like 15 minutes until my health depleted completely. Do you remember the final boss with Ganon in Ocarina of Time? If Ganon hits you in Ocarina of Time, he deals 8 hours of damage, 4 hours if you have the defense buff.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry, I got distracted with the gameplay. What did you say?
Ganon in Ocarina of Time. If Ganon hits you in Ocarina of Time, he deals 8 hours of damage.
Whoa. Wait, are you for real?
4 hours if you have the defense buff.
Damn, I don't remember him being that tough. Holy shit. But yeah, that gameplay was kind of funny. But let me tell you, the Dark Nuts in this game compared to Wind Waker are kind of, fucking badass. They make Wind Waker's Dark Nuts look like a fucking joke.
Well, Ganon in Twilight Princess, I think only deals 1 hour or 2 hours of damage at most, without any defense buffs. And like I said, all the secret techniques that you can learn for your sword, they are optional, so none of the enemies are actually designed around those techniques. And the only technique that is actually required to finish the game, the finishing blow, that technique actually makes the combat worse, because you have to waste time executing enemies on the ground, so you waste just time. This shit is inexcusable. Now, I'm not saying the older games were like Dark Souls or anything, but at least I had to think a little bit there. In this game, I feel like I'm falling asleep. And since the combat is so fucking easy, I'm really not incentivized to go after the art pieces in this game. So, because there's actually a lot of dungeons in this game actually contains like an insane amount of art containers.
Well, you mean heart pieces. But I gotta admit, Twilight Princess is the one game where I actually got all 20 hearts. Well, for the first time, that is. The only other game I did that in was in Ocarina of Time, and it's actually been years since I got 20 hearts in that game. And, sorry, I'm a little tired. I've been sitting here for a while and I'm kinda hurting.
So to actually make the art piece and actually a bit longer, they actually made it so you actually require 5 art pieces instead of 4 to get a full art.
And speaking of which, every dungeon usually contains 2.
I actually really hate this change. It makes each art piece feel less special. It makes it take so long to get a full art that you pretty much get bored and stop side questing at all. And since the combat is so easy, it's not like you need the extra arts anyway. So because the combat is easy as fuck, exploration really feels not rewarding in this game. Like, at all. The only other collectible you can find in dungeons is rupees. And rupees are not really useful in this game. When are you ever going to need rupees?
Reminds me of a gripe with rupees in Ocarina of Time.
To buy potions? Why would you buy potions in this game? It's impossible to die. And even if rupees were useful, hunting for rupees in this game is very unsatisfying because they made a really fucking stupid choice.
I know what he's gonna say, but didn't they kinda change this for the HD version?
But I can't carry anymore, so I'll just put it back.
You what?
My wallet is full. It can only hold 300 rupees.
So take out a green one, man. Those are only worth 1.
That would still be more than 300.
They're the same size.
I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of funny.
Oh, this is so fucking annoying. This fucking feature makes my brain go fucking ape shit. As someone that actually likes to clear dungeons in one go and actually loot all the chests and make them disappear from my map, this shit drives me fucking insane.
I personally don't give a shit. I clear a dungeon, I'm getting it.
Yes, if your wallet is full in this game, you cannot actually loot rupee chests. You will put the rupees back into the chest, and the chests won't disappear from your map. If you have OCD, this drives you fucking crazy, and if the game thinks that I will go back to a fucking dungeon just for fucking rupees, well, go fuck yourself, man.
Well, by the sound of things, it sounds like you've got OCD too.
This feature is completely stupid, and you know what? I think I know why they added this feature. So later in the game, you will actually be able to unlock an armor called the Magic Armor. Wearing this will actually make you invincible as long as you have money in your wallet. And it will constantly drain money from your wallet and also drain money when you get it. This armor looks really fucking cool. However, if you actually run out of money, this armor becomes completely worthless because it makes you like heavy as fuck, so you can't actually run anymore and you become slow as fuck. So you basically become useless in combat. This is a fucking shame, because this armor looks so fucking cool that I would use it constantly even if I had 0 rupees, if it did not slow me down.
That's the price you pay. Oh, quite literally.
Wasted potential aside, this is really stupid. They gimped the exploration aspect of finding rupees in chests just for this fucking armor. This would be broken in any other game. Like, can you imagine playing Dark Souls using this fucking armor? This would be fucking crazy. But in this game, it's actually not that bad. Simply because this armor is kinda useless. This game is so fucking easy that you will never need this armor.
I don't know shit about Dark Souls, so I wouldn't know. By the way, how far along are we? Damn, man, I feel like I've been at this forever.
Like, I kind of want to just wear this for the aesthetics alone, but I can't do that because the fucking armor becomes useless once you run out of rupees. Great game design, guys. But do you want to know what is the final nail in the coffin for exploration in this game? This is Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time.
That's a map of all of Hyrule. Still brings back memories, though. One day I really wish we could make an accurate version of this.
It's pretty small and it only contains like 7 grottos, a couple of sculpturas, and overall it's actually very small.
Oh, you are talking about the field. Well, why'd you show the whole map then?
There's not much to do here. It's mostly just an area to traverse to go to the other areas of the map. But it's fine. It was a Nintendo 64 game. I was not expecting a huge open world or anything. So it was fine for the limitations of the time. This is Hyrule Field in Twilight Princess.
Phew, and it's a buttload bigger. And I see somebody gave it a Breath of the Wild makeover too. That would be kind of pretty cool, open world like Breath of the Wild. Wow, and it's amazing how close the Arbiter's Ground and Snow Peak Mansions were, geographically.
It's quite huge, almost 5 times bigger than the one in Ocarina of Time, and it contains about 7 grottos and a couple of bugs to catch. Do you see what the problem is here?
What happened here? Why is desert like that?
What the fuck, man? This shit is 5 times as huge as Ocarina of Time Hyrule Field, and it contains just as much content as that game. This shit is empty as fuck! And that is not the only problem. So, in Ocarina of Time, the beauty of Hyrule Field is that once you got to Hyrule Field, you could basically do whatever you wanted, aside from going to Zora's River. Yeah, I remember when I first played the game, I did not go straight to Hyrule Castle. When I got to Hyrule Field, I actually wandered around, explored the entire area. I went to Kakariko Village, explored the graveyard. I also went fishing in Lake Hylia. So you could basically do whatever you wanted, aside from going to Zora's River or that mountain. Like, the Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time was surprisingly open.
You're honestly making me think of Skyrim with that do whatever you want thing, not gonna lie.
Meanwhile, in Twilight Princess, unfortunately, you're kinda railroaded into doing the main story. You really can't do anything else, because the Twilight areas that cover the Hyrule Field map will prevent you from doing anything that is not story related.
Right.
So, in short, the exploration in Twilight Princess is very unrewarding.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with this gameplay here.
Both because the combat is easy as fuck, so I don't see any reason to go after art pieces, and also because I'm so fucking railroaded into doing the main story that I really can't do anything creative with my playthroughs. And I guess you could say that adding the rupee limit was a mistake as well, because that really makes me not want to explore all the dungeons and get all the chests.
Oh, but that Iron Boots magnetism shit, ugh. Why is that so fucking slow?
Couple that with the really slow pacing and terribly slow animations, and this game drives me fucking crazy, man.
Like I was just talking about. Yeah, this part drove me fucking nuts too. It's a little on the loud side too. My headphones are half off now, because it's just a little loud. Yeah, seriously, why is this so goddamn slow? So much for no speed alterations. But I don't blame you. God. I'll give you one thing, the music sounds funny sped up. Okay, now triple shits. Yeah, it's those damn torches. Once you see them, you're good. But oh my god, is it a trip? God. Once more, man, cringe. And you made it even more cringe by slowing it down. Come on, dude.
I just want to know.
Although for fun, you could have turned that shit upside down, cause you know, be a little punny.
People that like this game, what the fuck are you guys smoking?
Excuse me, motherfucker?
I really was doomed to never be able to like this game, huh? Except, there are some things I like. So let me go through those real quick.
Things I like. There are not many. This ought to be good.
Okay, so I'm not going to lie. I really like the expanded Death Mountain in this game. In fact, I like this area so much that when I made the Minecraft map of Ocarina of Time,
Partly along with me.
I actually kinda did an hybrid version of the Ocarina of Time Death Mountain and the Twilight Princess Death Mountain.
Yeah, I remember. I think he called it the Arm of the Mountain or something. Something along those lines, and he added something similar to the hot springs and whatnot.
The Lake Bed Temple is genuinely one of the best dungeons in the game.
Honestly, in terms of confusion, this place confuses me more than the water temples sometimes. But it makes up for it by looking really fucking cool.
It's one of the few dungeons where you actually need to explore, it's not linear as hell, and I think it's actually kinda difficult and challenging, which is kinda insane. And by challenging, I only mean the puzzles, obviously,
Yeah.
because the combat is still the same Braindead shit as usual. Case in point, the boss of this dungeon is somehow less aggressive than Morpha from Ocarina of Time. That is definitely an accomplishment.
Hell, it even almost shares the same name. It's called Morpheel.
No, seriously, does this boss ever attack you? Or does it just stand there, waiting for you to close shot his eye? I genuinely don't know, because I don't think I ever saw this boss ever attack me. Holy fuck, man. Unfortunately, every boss in the game is like this. They are no longer trying to kill you, the bosses are just like cinematic set pieces that are meant to look cool and make you look cool. I remember when I watched the trailer for this game, this giant fire boss looked like fucking awesome. I was like, holy shit, this looks like one of the Balrogs from the Lord of the Rings.
What the fuck is this guy doing?
This is going to be an epic ass fight. Instead, this boss is so fucking easy that I actually kinda feel bad for this boss. It's like you're bullying him. Look, he can't even move properly. Wait a second, I was talking about positive things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's real fucking difficult for me to talk positively about this game, because even when there's stuff I like, I still find something to bitch about. Oh my fucking god, man.
You're a critic.
So, where was I? Oh yeah. The part where you rescue Midna is actually one of the best parts of the game. The music is beautiful, and Midna is actually kind of a likable character, so you actually care about saving her.
Right.
The only flaw of this section is that every time you encounter an enemy, the music gets replaced by the generic enemy music, but it's not too big of a flaw that it kinda ruins the moment. It's
Right? Come on, man. And we can hear that music in the background, too.
still pretty fucking awesome, man. And yes, the music you are hearing right now is actually from this section. One of the best tracks in the game, and actually one of the few songs I actually like, because yeah, the soundtrack in this game is otherwise very forgettable. The part in the forest where you need to follow the school kid to find the Master Sword,
Which itself is a nice callback to Majora's Mask a little bit. And Ocarina.
this part is actually really fucking cool. It has got a great rendition of Seria's song, and this is one of the best callbacks to Ocarina of Time.
Oh, speaking of which, a Hyrule Warriors bit. Okay, so Skull Kid in that game is playable as his Majora's Mask counterpart. But in some of his attacks, he actually summons the puppets from this game to attack his enemies. Like, so that makes me wonder, is Majora's Mask Skull Kid and this Skull Kid right here the same being?
Like, all the other nostalgia pandering moments did not work for me, but this one definitely got me. Whoever designed this puzzle though needs to be fired. What the fuck, this shit is terrible.
Ooh, don't even get me started on that shit. You should have seen me when I played this shit when I first got it. Oh my god, I was raging so hard. I hope whoever did design this shit got fired. Holy shit.
And for some reason we have to redo it later in the game, so it's not even something you need to complete only once.
Wait. Hold on a second. I don't remember this. When do you have to do it again? You're gonna have to jog my memory. When the hell do you do this fucking irritating ass shit again? I only remember doing it once.
The Arbiter Grounds dungeon is actually really fucking cool. This is the first dungeon that when I played it, it made me like, oh, we're finally doing something original.
Yeah, this dungeon is really fucking cool. It's kind of giving me, I don't know, maybe a combination of Tomb Raider / Uncharted vibes a little bit. Just guess, maybe a little Indiana Jones, kind of? Because, you know, desert temples.
And this really reminds me of Tomb Raider. Like, this old dungeon
like I
really
said,
gives me Tomb Raider vibes. Gameplay-wise, this dungeon is nothing special, because they kinda copied the gimmick of the Forest Temple for this dungeon. So it's kind of a retread, but hey, at least it's better than having it be a linear hallway, I guess.
Ooh, and those poses look very, very... Well, they're definitely creepier than the normal ones, I'll be honest.
The dungeon item is also really fucking cool, even though unfortunately, just like all the other dungeon items from Twilight Princess, it's only ever used inside the dungeon you find it in, and outside in the overworld it's almost useless.
Not really, I think there's a few spots where you can use it to get some heart pieces, but... Considering your point about heart pieces earlier... Hey man, I'm a completionist in this game. I always go for all the heart pieces. I can't even lie to you. And dude, this dude straight up took down Star-Lord in like one cycle. Funnily enough, I actually did do that, but only once.
I will still give this dungeon a good rating though, because at least the theming of this dungeon is amazing. The Snow Peak Ruins is one of the best dungeons in the entire Zelda franchise, because this dungeon is very clever in its design. It actually tricks you into thinking it's not a dungeon, because you see people living inside here, well, if you can call them people, and like you actually think this is like just a house at
They're Yetis actually, brother.
first, or like a side area. But then, as soon as the NPC gives you the map, you realize that this is actually a dungeon, and boy, what a fucking dungeon. It's basically the Forest Temple again, except now it's frozen.
And I'd bet my bottom dollar if this place was restored to peak condition. Oh, light pun. I bet you'd like to live here, wouldn't you, buddy?
And the design of this dungeon is really cool. It's actually not as linear as all the other dungeons, and it has got like a very cool atmosphere, pun intended.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's just a very interesting place to explore. Like, you start to think, whoa, who used to live here? What is this place about? Like, this place tickles your curiosity so fucking much, man.
Yeah, it
Just
did.
like the Forest Temple, it's so fucking immersive. Yeah, it's very similar to the Forest Temple, except instead of giving me creepy-ass vibes, it gives me mysterious vibes.
Oof. And it looks fucking awesome, I can't even lie to you.
But it's really fucking good.
Actually, truth be told, yeah, I think this is my favorite dungeon in the entire game.
Like, if the entire game had been the same quality as this dungeon, this game would have been top tier. Unfortunately,
I don't know anything about Dark Souls, so I'm not even gonna comment.
the entire game was not the same quality as this dungeon. So, yeah, these are the only things I like about this game. I told you there were not many, so unfortunately, it's time to start talking about negative things again.
Damn, we still got a ways to go. Nostalgia pandering and shitty ass ending. Oh my god, let's go.
Do you know why I give this game so much shit? It's because this game lacks a unique identity. Like, this game tries so hard to emulate Ocarina of Time that it actively jimps its own level design and ideas just to try to emulate Ocarina of Time. So, for example, let me actually take a look at the dungeon roster and actually rank the dungeons, so you will see what I mean.
Here we go.
Okay, the first dungeon is the Forest Temple, and it's just a Great Deku Tree retread. Remember, at this point, there have been 4 3D Zelda games, and we are still using the same fucking tropes, I guess, for dungeon themes.
Yeah, Deku Tree, Woodfall Temple. Although technically in Wind Waker they flipped the Fire and Forest ones, where Fire was first and Forest was second. Huh. And technically speaking, unless you count the first part of the Tower of the Gods, there was no water dungeon in Wind Waker. Huh.
Like I said, this dungeon is fine, but it's terribly uninteresting. Like, this theme puts me to sleep. Why did we need another grass dungeon as the first dungeon in a Zelda game? Come on, just use some originality here. The second dungeon is the Goron Mines. Yet another Dodongo's Cavern, fire-themed level for the second level. Well, is the dungeon good at least?
Oh, he did flip it upside down. I forgot about that. Sorry, but I don't want to hear this again.
It's garbage. Moving on.
And please use something else. It's so... You know it's cringe when I have to take off my headphones to not hear it.
The Lake Bed Temple is literally a retread of the Water Temple. It's even located in the same location, the bottom of Lake Hylia. The only reason I don't dislike this dungeon is because at least it does not put me to sleep. It's actually a little challenging, so thank fucking god for that. But still, the Arbiter Rounds has got a great theme for a dungeon, but it reuses the same gimmick from the Forest Temple. Yet another forced Ocarina of Time callback. The Snow Peak Ruins is amazing and I won't tolerate any slander for it. I have nothing to complain about this dungeon.
Huh, you won't hear any slander from me. Like I said, this is my favorite dungeon in the game too.
The Temple of Time is literally the same place from Ocarina of Time. It even plays the same music from Ocarina of Time.
And can I be honest, I always walk through this area to kind of like aura farm with that nostalgic music kicking in.
Before you enter the dungeon proper, in theory I should have loved this callback, but to me it felt extremely forced. It does not help that when you enter the dungeon proper, this dungeon is absolutely awful, man. Holy fuck, I can't believe they actually made a dungeon like this in a Zelda game.
Let me guess, it's basically because it's very linear, right?
This dungeon is literally an hallway. You go to the end of the hallway, you grab the dungeon item, and then you backtrack through the same hallway again to reach the entrance again, where you can now access the boss room. Like, this dungeon is so fucking linear, it puts me to fucking sleep. And the music in this dungeon is absolutely awful, man. Why did they not just use the Temple of Time theme for this dungeon?
Honestly, I thought about that too, but as I thought about it, for some reason, I just felt like it didn't fit as a dungeon theme.
At least that theme actually sounds good. The only interesting part of this dungeon is that when you actually get the dungeon item, it is kinda fun to run around with the statue, smashing everything.
By the way, another Hyrule Warriors reference, but that Dominion Rod and the ability to use statues as weapons was available. Funnily enough, though, it's not used by Link, but by Zelda. Pretty cool, though, huh?
But was it worth it to sacrifice the entire dungeon design just to make this, like, giant robot gimmick? I don't think so. Especially because this dungeon item is like a complete gimmick. It's so fucking gimmicky that after you leave the dungeon, you can't even use the dungeon item anymore.
That's called time travel.
You have to find a way to recharge it, and even after you recharge it, it's completely worthless in the overworld.
Oh, and why I said that is because, you actually do go through a door back in time to see this place in its heyday, which is why I said time travel. And when you go back out that door to go back to the present day version, the thing also travels back in time and thus loses its power.
They actually had to place some gimmicky sections in the overworld to let you use this thing. And it's actually required for the main quest, so that makes it even more annoying. The city in the sky is actually a pretty decent dungeon. The problem is that it's another one of those dungeons where you need to do a lot of waiting, because you have to constantly wait for hookshot targets or close-shot targets to be available before you can do anything. So,
oh, like I was talking about earlier, yeah, it would be cool if you could do this to any downed enemy.
so this is just like the Goron mines and I guess the vines in the first dungeon. An insane amount of slow-ass animations before you can do anything.
Yeah, and to me, it is the most confusing dungeon of them all. I can't even lie to you.
And holy shit, yeah, this grinds the pacing of this dungeon to a complete fucking halt. But I will give props to the originality of this dungeon. Although, the music in this dungeon is really fucking repetitive. This music will drive you fucking insane while you wait for the fucking targets. Oh.
I'm honestly surprised you didn't share a sample.
Also, congratulations to Twilight Princess for making a fucking dragon boss fight boring. I don't know how they managed, but holy fuck, this is boring, and just like all the other bosses, just like a interactive cutscene where you can't possibly die.
Although, cool enough, this guy reappeared in Hyrule Warriors, and he's actually more badass in that game. I can't even lie. If you're not prepared, he can potentially fuck you up.
This dragon has got worse reflexes than DSP. Holy fuck. Turn around, you stupid idiot. My point with this section is that this game tries way too hard to replicate Ocarina of Time, but it fails spectacularly, and even when it tries to do something original, it also fails spectacularly.
Sorry.
And don't think that the nostalgia pandering actually ends at the dungeons. The overworld is also full of stuff like this.
Oh yeah?
Do you remember in Ocarina of Time when you went back to Zora's River and you found out that Zora's domain has been frozen?
Yeah.
This moment was completely shocking for many players, because when you were a child you visited Zora's domain and it was one of the most beautiful areas in the game, and now it's got completely fucked up by Ganondorf. That moment is also in Twilight Princess. Why? I have no fucking idea. Why is Zora's domain frozen? None of the other areas in the Twilight have been, affected this way, and Zant does not give a shit about Zoras. Why would he try to freeze them?
Honestly, once again, spitballing, but I think this was more of an effect that, Zora's domain in this game is not too far away from Snowhead. Or Snow Peak. Sometimes I get the two mixed up.
This makes no fucking sense. But it's here because Ocarina of Time did it first, and we need to pander to the nostalgia of the people playing this game. But do you guys want to know what really is the worst thing they fucked up on purpose just to imitate Ocarina of Time?
Boy. I think I know what's coming.
Let me show you guys, because this is fucking insane.
Let me see if I'm right. Yep.
I'm in Kakariko Village. And I'm right outside of the Skullskull house, because guess what? I never went to pick up my reward. You know, after all that work I did, you think I'd at least want to come back and pick up the reward, but I didn't.
Did you hear
I just
a
went around
Minecraft
again, sounded like I was
sound?
going to beat the game or something. Hi. Since you've destroyed 100 spiders of the curse on me has been broken. Thank you. Here is a token of my appreciation. Please take it. Oh my god, I can't wait to see what it is. It's going to be crazy. I did so much work for this. Oh my god, I can't wait to see what it's going to be.
Let me put it to you like this. At least his wallet wasn't full.
this.
Even with my fucking headphones off, I still heard that shit. Oh my god.
This is the worst part of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This is why, instead of giving this game a 10, I usually give it a 9.5.
And I'm willing to guess that's the reason why you switched this mechanic around in the Blood Moon adventure, and instead of giving a bunch of rupees, you basically gave us, well, not the Big Goron sword, but kind of an equivalent of it, which is better than the Master Sword power-wise. I'm just spitballing. But I think that's what Josh did with the adventure map when we did it. Makes sense, though. Because, honestly, at that late stage in Blood Moon, I don't think rupees would have served much purpose anymore. I mean, they would have earlier, definitely.
Yeah, this part sucks. The Gold Skulltula quest is one of the most iconic quests in all of gaming. Basically, throughout the entire game, there are 100 golden Skulltulas you need to collect, and the first 50 Skulltulas actually give you some useful rewards, even though they are not all amazing, at least they are usable.
Speaking of collectibles, my dude, I've been thinking, I know this isn't about the video, but I kind of wanted to spitball this. For the prequel map in Termina, what kind of collectibles should we use? My mind is thinking something similar to the Stray Fairies mechanic from that game, but what would we use as the collectible item? So yeah, think about that for a minute.
But when you get 100 Skulltulas, your reward is infinite rupees. And rupees are completely worthless at this point of the game.
Yeah.
This is the only flaw I find inexcusable, and even I can't defend Ocarina of Time on this.
Honestly, I actually did not know they were infinite, though. I just thought it was a one-time grab of 200. Which, if it was, really... Oh, when I first got it, I remember it upset me so bad, especially since my wallet was full. My wallet is usually full, like... I guess 95% of the game, man. God.
And they never fixed this. Throughout all the releases of the game, they never fixed this. Even the fucking 3DS remake still kept the reward the same.
Hang on a second, though. As I'm thinking about it... Assuming you delayed them... Yeah, no, wait. You need the beans to get some of the Skulltulas anyway. Never mind. I was thinking, maybe you could use the infinite rupees to use the... restock your rupees for the magic beans, but, no, you need some of those anyway to get to some of the Skulltulas anyway, so there goes that idea. And, yeah, I haven't played it, but 3DS Ocarina could have used better love.
Instead of doing something cool like, I don't know, give me something that makes me into a literal god. Something like the fierce deity mask from Majora's Mask.
Is that what you were thinking when you put that sword in? Because it was the fierce deity sword in Blood Moon.
Just anything would be better than this. Well, guess what?
Yep.
They made a very similar side quest in this game too. It's actually the Poe Souls side quest. This quest is like extremely similar to the Gold Skulltula side quest.
Except it's pretty much... You pretty much have to wait until night to get them, unless they're in a cave or something, or a temple.
Except it's executed 10 times worse. Okay, so in Ocarina of Time, most Gold Skulltulas only appeared at night. That was not a problem in that game, because in that game the day-night cycle is very, very short, and even if you don't want to wait, you can use the Sun Song to turn from day to night or vice versa. Meanwhile, in Twilight Princess, The poles only appear at night too, except the day-night cycle takes fucking forever, and there's no Sun Song equivalent.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, when I was Poe hunting, that shit pissed me off.
There's no way to turn from day to night quickly. This means that even if you have a guide, you still have to wait a long as time, if it's daytime, for the Poe to show up. Another thing that sucks is that you have to use Wolf Link to kill the ghosts. For some reason, Human Link can't do it, so that is even more annoying because you have to constantly transform into Wolf Link to do this. Another thing that sucks is that you can only start gathering the Poe souls after you got the Master Sword. Meanwhile, in Ocarina of Time...
Hang on a second. Well, that's not necessarily true. If you play your cards right, you can go and grab a few of them in specific areas before that. I remember before I got the Master Sword, I had 3 of them, but that ain't much, so yeah.
Could start gathering the Gold Skulltulas, like from the first dungeon, so that kinda sucks, because this means that even if you know where some of the Poes are, you need to wait until like the midway point of the game before you can do this. And finally, you only get 1 reward before you get all the Poes, which is at 20 Poes. You get a bottle, which is not bad, but it's kinda shitty, because in Ocarina of Time you got 5 rewards before getting 100 Skulltulas.
Right?
You got a reward for 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So all of this makes this side quest much less well executed than the Ocarina of Time one, I guess, because it's much more annoying. But what do you get if you go throughout all this trouble to get all the 60 Poe souls?
Take a guess.
Try to fucking guess.
The music should give you an idea. Although, unlike Ocarina, I was briefed that this was infinite, so it was actually pretty okay for me. Oh boy. Really milking this one, isn't he? Although, I do find it kind of funny that he would give a wolf fucking rupees. Oh, Jesus! Jeebus! And I thought my temper was bad. God! It is bad, but not compared to those guys. God almighty.
You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it.
The hell?
Unplug it. You don't even deserve my fucking electricity.
Huh?
You don't.
What's going on?
Yeah? You fucking own me? Fuck you.
Okay, what was that all about?
Because that's where it fucking belongs, in the fucking trash. When a company tells you that they're more important than you and they own you, that's what you fucking do with them. Fuck the Wii U and fuck Nintendo.
When the hell?
They did it again. They put the same fucking reward just because Ocarina of Time did it first. They actively made their game worse just to copy Ocarina of Time. But Josh, the magic armor makes the infinite rupees actually useful in this game.
It does.
No, shut up. First of all, this game is made for fucking babies. Why would I ever need to be invincible in this game? This game is so fucking easy, a fucking toddler could finish this game.
Yeah, right, I'd like to see that.
Second, just like Ocarina of Time, it's not actually infinite rupees. I still need to come back to Castletown to get more rupees if I need them. So, you want me to backtrack to replenish my magic armor? Fuck this reward, this is terrible! I remember when I got this reward, I was so filled with rage and so fucking disappointed that this was actually the moment when I actually started to hate this fucking game. Before I found it underwhelming, then I just fucking started hating this game. Because this game sacrifices its potential just to imitate Ocarina of Time. And we still have one thing left to talk about.
What? I thought
the
you said...
ending that got sabotaged by trying to imitate Ocarina of Time as well. So after you finish all the dungeons, you actually get to explore the inside of the Twilight World. And this is the final dungeon of the game.
Not really.
This dungeon is actually very fucking cool. I really enjoyed this final dungeon. It's like not amazing design wise, but it has got an amazing atmosphere. It's kinda creepy. Especially those ants that chase you throughout the dungeon. They are creepy as fuck, man.
Yeah.
This final dungeon is really, really atmospheric, and even if it's not as good as previous final dungeons, I still think it's like very, very cool. Like the way you climb to the top of the dungeon to face against Zant, it's so fucking amazing.
By the way, don't you think Zant is kind of like Twilight Princess's version of Aghanim a little bit? Because, decoy protagonist, he comes across, they come across as being the main protagonist at first, but only to find out that it was actually Ganon. Yeah, I realized, Zant and Aghanim have that a lot in common. Interesting.
So, up to this point, Zant was actually a very compelling villain. He was very threatening and intimidating, and I found him to be very interesting. I still don't think the story of this game is as good as Ocarina of Time, because there's not enough context. Like, for example, in Ocarina of Time, we learn that the Sheikah were actually hired by the royal family to torture, like, intruders and spies of the kingdom. Meanwhile, what do we learn about the Twili people? The only thing we really learn is that they got sealed in the Twilight because they were abusing dark magic. But aside from that, we learn next to nothing about their culture and how they function.
The abusing dark magic bit reminds me of Blood Moon again and how he became the villain. Because you said in the backstory, his backstory, people ostracized his use of dark magic, and that's kind of why he turned into a villain? Something like that. I might use that in Blood Moon, actually.
Even the final dungeon, the Twilight Palace, barely tells us anything. So unfortunately Zant was not amazing as a villain. Like, I wish he had a bit more screen time, but what we got of him was very good, and I was ready for the final showdown.
Not gonna lie, he's also deceptively fun to play as in Hyrule Warriors too.
So it's really great that then, in the final fight, they turn Zant into a clown, and they completely shit on his development throughout the game, so he becomes just a joke, and they tell us that the real villain is Ganondorf. Once again, this game shits all over its potential just to imitate Ocarina of Time. Why does Ganon need to be the final villain? Because it was in Ocarina of Time, and all in the other games.
By the way, that little intro is how he makes his intro in Hyrule Warriors as well. Not kidding.
Even though we did this plot twist like 300 times already. We already did it in A Link to the Past, the Oracle games, Four Sword Adventures. Okay, let's see what you're cooking, Twilight Princess. So the real final dungeon, and this dungeon is like lame as fuck, man. First of all, it's really fucking empty for some reason. Like, every room is like huge, and it contains mostly nothing. I don't know what kind of design is this. Also, for some reason, the game is still throwing us into forced fights against mooks that we can kill in 2 seconds. I have no idea what's the point of this. This is not challenging at all. We can mostly one-shot all of these guys. Why is this forced on us? There's also a wing of the dungeon that is like completely pointless, like it's optional. You can go there and you can get a small key, and you can use the small key later for... Oh, it unlocks a room that allows you to get a buttload of rupees and also arrows and bombs.
Among several other things.
So I guess if you want to cheese the final fight with the magic armor, now you have the rupees to do so.
Oh.
Well, thanks. I'm sorry, I really did not like this dungeon. I guess the parts where you ride the boar are kinda cool.
Though you did that earlier before the Arbiter's grounds.
But aside from that, this dungeon is very empty, and I guess at this point of the game I really did not give a shit, honestly. Oh, by the way, remember these guys? Yeah, me neither. Apparently they come to save you. Yeah, thanks guys. You have done nothing throughout this game, now you come to save me. This cutscene really made me roll my eyes. Also, how do you guys know about Ganondorf? I guess even the writers gave up at this point. Okay, it's time to go face with the villain that we never saw before. Yeah, it's always a good sign when a villain never meets the protagonist before the end of the game. We only see Ganondorf in a flashback in this game before this point, unlike Ocarina of Time, where we actually see Ganondorf's action affect the world at multiple points of the game, and he has a presence throughout the entire game. He only just shows up at the end in this game. He does not even know Link. By the way, he also kidnapped Zelda, because that was done in Ocarina of Time too. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, true.
The final boss is at least pretty cool, even though it's easy as shit, just like all the other bosses in the game. Except for the first phase, which is just Ganondorf fight from Ocarina of Time again, except now you're fighting Zelda.
Well, actually, it more reminds me of the Phantom Ganon boss fight.
It's literally the same fight.
Oh, and when I say that, I mean from both Ocarina and Wind Waker.
It's the energy tennis match.
Oh, for 5 minutes.
Could you stop imitating Ocarina of Time?
For 5 minutes!
The second part of the fight is pretty cool, and probably the most unique part. Both of you go into beast form and have to fight each other. It's easy as shit, because you just have to wait for him to teleport and then use your Midna end, I guess, whatever the fuck this thing is called. But yeah, it's pretty cool. The third phase is an horseback fight, and this is really fucking cool. I wish the fight ended here, but unfortunately... The real final boss is just a Wind Waker Ganondorf again. It's a sword fight, except this time it's so fucking easy that I don't even know what the purpose of this fight is. Like...
Yeah, the fishing rod glitch threw me off the first time I saw it. And when I saw that it actually worked, I'm like, what the hell? Are you guys serious? And yeah, compared to this version, Wind Waker Ganondorf was a lot tougher. He attacked more frequently, that's for sure.
If he eats you, he does so little damage, and it's full of quick time events that make the fight even easier. So honestly, this fight is a complete waste of time. And this fight has got like 0 stakes, because Link and Ganondorf don't even know each other in this game. Ganondorf was just like a twist villain, pulled out of the rug at the last minute to replace Zand. Yes, he did basically jack shit in this game, aside from controlling Zand from the shadows or whatever.
Like I was saying, just like Aghanim.
So, honestly, this fucking fight is worthless, both gameplay-wise and narrative-wise. If the game ended with Zand, it would have been much fucking better. Also, I don't like how Ganondorf looks in this game. For some reason, he looks really fucking fat. I don't know why, it just gives me that impression.
Either that or he's been hulking up.
I guess you could say he has a dead bod. Anyway, we kill Ganondorf, Midna becomes hot, and then she leaves and breaks the Twilight Mirror. So, the best character in the fucking game leaves. That's great. And the game is over. Holy shit. So, I have been shitting on this game a lot, and this game really disappointed me. Holy fuck. But I still don't think it's like the worst thing ever. I would like rate it like a 6. Maybe a 6.5, but even that is too generous. So I think, yeah, I will rate this game a 6 out of 10. And yeah, this game just does not appeal to me at all.
If it didn't, why'd you at least give it a 6?
I know that there are people that like this game, and if you like it, more power to you. Actually, when this game released for the first time, a lot of people hated this game. I think it only grew to be beloved by people that played this when they were kids, and they kinda started to love this game out of nostalgia.
Yeah, I was more of an adolescent when it came out, but you get the idea.
As for me, I think this game is really mediocre. Like, this game has got terrible difficulty, horrible balancing, terrible pacing, a shitty hyrule field, bad side quests. Honestly, you know, I already described everything that I dislike about this game. I don't really have anything else to say. I just know that this video will be very cathartic for me to make finally, because I wanted to talk about how this game disappointed me for fucking years. And I'm sorry if you like this game and you don't agree with my opinion. I won't think less of you if you like this game, because I like a bunch of terrible shit myself. I love Spider-Man 3 the movie, so...
Sorry, wouldn't know, haven't watched.
Very well. Thank you for watching this video, and leave a comment to tell me if you agree with me or you like this game. Maybe you can try to change my idea with this game. I don't know. But please comment, rate, subscribe, all that good as shit. And I will see you guys on my next project, whatever that may be.
Hang on, there's still a little more. What was
By the way, I know about the stupid amiibo that makes you take double damage, but that does not fix anything, because this game has got terrible Braindead AI. Even if the enemies did like 5 times as much damage, you would still never die in this fucking game, because the enemies barely attack you.
Oh boy. Oh man. Okay. Holy crickets. Look at the time. Oh my god, I've been recording this through midnight. Well, I think this has been a good redemption run in my opinion. I definitely had a lot more to say. So how about that, Julius? You think I redeemed myself by now? I sure as fuck think you did. I mean, excuse me, think I did. Sorry, I think I'm losing myself because it's so late now. And I've been at this shit for, I think, it feels like 2 hours. I mean, I recorded Millionaire and now I did this shit? I mean that, I did that and that back to back. So, now I really am tired, so I think I should call it a wrap. If I had to give Twilight Princess a rating on myself, based on all that shit I saw, I'm thinking maybe a little higher at 6.5 or 7 at most. But that's just me. I'd go into Josh's points, but I did during the video pretty much. And, you know, so there's really not much to discuss right now. I guess other than the fact, yeah. I pretty much said everything there was to say during the video, so might as well end it here. So, hope you enjoyed this little run of redemption from me. I had a buttload more to say, and I feel like I'm on repeat mode now. So, until my next project, I'm gonna see you guys soon. Hope you all are having a good day and shit, as always. Whew. Mother of God. Sorry, I'm tired. So, until next time, stay safe. I'll have a good day and everything, y'all. Peace.